Let's talk about a story that is shocking many people out there. A young man named Andry Romero, a gay makeup artist from Venezuela, came to the United States last year asking for asylum. He was trying to escape threats in his home country, where he said that he was targeted for being gay and for his political views. He traveled a very dangerous journey, even walked through Darién Gap, a wild jungle between Colombia and Panama, and finally made it to Mexico, where he got an appointment to legally enter the US and ask for protection. When he crossed at a legal border in San Diego, United States officials detained him while his asylum case was being reviewed. His lawyer said that he had a very strong case. The US government even said that his fear was credible, which is the first big step in getting an asylum. But then, something unexpected happened. One day, Andry was in custody waiting for his court date. The next day, he was gone. It turns out that he, along with 237 other Venezuelan migrants, were put on a plane and sent to the maximum security prison in El Salvador. This prison is called Terrorism Consignment Center. It is one of the harshest prisons in Latin America, built to hold gang members and terrorists. But the question is, why did this happen? So under Donald Trump's new immigration policy, the US signed a special agreement with the president of El Salvador. Trump has promised to crack down on dangerous Venezuelan gang called Tren de Aragua, and his deal allows the US to deport suspected gang members to this particular prison. To do this, the Trump administration used an old law, that too from 1798, called the Alien Enemies Act, which has not been used since World War II. It gives the president power to deport people from certain countries during times of conflict or any sort of war. But here's a problem. Most of the people sent to El Salvador don't have criminal records. And many, like Andry, were waiting for a judge to decide if they should be allowed to stay in the US or not. So the people are asking, why was Andry accused of being in the gang? Well, the only evidence against him? Tattoos of crowns, which he says were of his mom and his dad, who he calls his king and queen. The US officials also pointed to his social media, but most of his posts showed him doing makeup, wearing a crown from pageants, or posting with the brushes. No sign of gang activities, of course. A photographer from Times magazine also saw Andry at the prison. He saw Andry was crying, saying that he wasn't a gang member, but just a stylist. In the meantime, his lawyer said that it's heartbreaking to see somebody so kind and artistic in such a horrible place. She also said that she fears for his safety and his life in the prison, specifically because of his sexual recognition. In fact, according to a 60 Minutes investigation, about 75% of 238 deported Venezuelans have no criminal records in the US or anywhere else. 22% of them do have criminal records, but most of them are minor offenses like shoplifting or trespassing. Only about a dozen men are accused of serious crimes like murder or assault. 3% of the cases don't have enough data. In the meantime, the US immigration officials argue that just because somebody doesn't have a criminal record, it doesn't mean that they aren't dangerous. They claim to have done deep background checks, and some say that these people are terrorists or gang members, even if it doesn't show on the paper. But immigration lawyers and human rights groups say that the government should show real proof and give people just one chance to respond in court, specifically when they're applying for the asylum. Well, the story is not just about one person. It shows how new immigration policy under Donald Trump are changing how the US handles asylum seekers, and many lives are being affected right now.